Now at 6, some Joplin-based injury lawyers are taking legal action against each other. Plus, Columbus, Kansas authorities investigate a suspicious device found in town. And the state of Oklahoma carries out the execution of a man who spent nearly 30 years behind bars.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
A battle between 2 law offices is happening in Jasper County. A Joplin-based personal injury attorney is taking legal action against his former colleagues after they filed a petition against him. This is KOAM News at 6. I'm Dow Quick. In the beginning of this month, Shelley Dreyer and Keegan Tinney sued Charles Stickland, accusing him of not sharing attorney's fees and reimbursement of costs from the time they worked together. Later in the month, another petition was filed, this time by Stickland. Shelley Dreyer and Keegan Tinney resigned from Stickland's firm in February of this year. According to the latest court document, Dreyer and Tinney allegedly transferred more than 90 client files from Charles Stickland's office. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has details.
Thank you, Dow. That's right. According to court documents, Shelley Dreyer began working at Stickland Law Firm in 2014. Keegan Tinney began in 2018. In the beginning of this month, Dreyer and Tinney attorneys submitted a petition wanting the division of attorneys' fees in reimbursement of costs of Dreyer and Tinney's clients. These clients were previously working with Stickland's firm. The court documents of July 6 says that the parties did not have an agreement as to how attorneys' fees would be divided in the event of dissolution of the firm. Less than a week later, attorneys for the Stickland's law firm filed a petition that the lawsuit be dropped. They also countersued Dreyer's and Tinney's, accusing them of physically removing files and documents from the firm's office during the night when Stickland was out of town in February 2023. The lawsuit states that Dreyer emailed herself clients' names and personal information, including medical records and other sensitive material. Stickland accuses Dreyer and Tinney of intentionally delaying cases and informing clients and prospective clients that Stickland was too busy or would not be the best attorney to work in their cases. Stickland alleges their goal was to divert clients' money, data, and property from his firm to their new law firm, taking, quote, as many clients as they could with them to help ensure financial success of their new firm, end quote. Stickland is asking for $5 million. KOAM contacted all parties involved for comment. Stickland's attorneys declined to comment. Dreyer and Tinney's attorneys said they followed all Missouri law and ethical procedures with the former law firm.
Fernanda, thanks. Dreyer has previously faced similar allegations. In 2012, Dreyer had a judgment against her in a lawsuit involving a St. Louis area law firm. You can find the full statement in this case, plus accusations and the complete court documents on our website. Of course, that's KOAMnewsnow.com. Columbus, Kansas authorities today are dealing with a suspicious device. Authorities say around 11 this morning, demolition crews found a suspicious-looking device at 1212 West Maple Street.
KHP bomb squad and Kansas State Fire Marshal's office initially we secured the area, didn't allow anybody in. But after they obtained some more additional information, they deemed that we could just open up the streets, and they don't feel there's a huge threat.
Authorities say the device resembled a pipe with a soda cap on one end. Another scorcher out there. Let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Doug Heddy.
Yeah, another hot one for us today, but at least not as hot as what we have seen over the past couple days. And the evening hours aren't going to be bad. We just have a few clouds which are rotating through, but clusters of thunderstorms building out to the west. And that's what we're going to keep our eyes on for late tonight into tomorrow morning, with the possibility of showers and thunderstorms getting into the area. All right, upper 80s to lower 90s, mainly in the southern half of the region. Still heat indices are up there. We're sitting right around 101 Webb City, 100 in Chatopa. So it is hot. It is humid. As we go through the overnight hours tonight, we look pretty good for the next several hours, but chances for showers and thunderstorms start spreading in. This is very late, 5:30, 6 o'clock, starting to work into the area. So that's what we're going to be focusing on and talking about. Also looking at the weekend here in just a bit.
All right, see you soon. Spire Energy is putting some misinformation to rest about bill payments. Officials say there are videos on TikTok and other social media platforms showing people claiming to be finance experts with tips to get out of paying your utility bills. The videos recommend sending strange documents with certain flags and seals. Spire says they've been receiving these documents from customers in Missouri, but they want people to know they are not legit. Spire says if you need assistance paying your bills, there are programs to help. The Miami Public Library today unveiled this new mural. The mural depicts different Ottawa County towns and landmarks, including Route 66. It was painted by Jessica Stout, who gave a short Q&A with kids after the unveiling to talk about her inspiration for the design.
I mean, art is amazing. We love having art in the library. And then for this one, it's about the community. So it's something for everybody to look at and enjoy while they're here.
The mural is in the Kids Connection area of the library. Hope you have an appetite for handkerchiefs, and as you can hear from these excited kids, this trick wowed the youngins. After that mural unveiling, the library hosted a magic show with magician Kevin Wade. Coming up, the Missouri Supreme Court tells the Attorney General to stand down on a dispute concerning abortion laws. We'll have details. Plus, the man who killed a 20-year-old mother in Oklahoma is put to death. More on KOAM News at 6 ahead. Oklahoma today executed a man for stabbing a Tulsa woman to death with a butcher knife back in 1995. 51-year-old Jermaine Cannon received a lethal injection at the Oklahoma State Penitentiary in McAllister. He was pronounced dead at 10:13 a.m. Cannon was convicted and sentenced to die for killing 20-year-old Sharonda Clark, a mother of two young daughters. He had been living with Clark in an apartment in Tulsa after his escape from a prison work center in southwest Oklahoma. Cannon had been serving a 15-year sentence for the violent assault of another woman. He claimed at a clemency hearing last month that he killed Clark in self-defense. The Missouri Supreme Court orders Attorney General Andrew Bailey to stand down on abortion cost disputes. The Missouri Supreme Court wants Bailey to allow an initiative petition to legalize abortion in the state to move forward. Supreme Court judges unanimously affirmed a lower court's decision that Bailey must approve the cost estimate provided by the auditor. That's despite Bailey's insistence that the cost to taxpayers to restoring abortion rights could be as much as 1 million times higher than what the auditor found. Kansas Attorney General Chris Kobach wants to keep transgender people from intervening in his lawsuit over state IDs. It's in his state lawsuit against changing the sex listings on their state driver's licenses. His efforts already will block further changes into at least November. 5 transgender residents represented by the state's American Civil Liberties Union chapter are asking a district judge to allow them to intervene. Kobach today said he's opposing their request, and the judge plans to rule on it after an August 16th hearing. Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders is not ruling out a special legislative session on tax cuts. This comes after the state ended the year with a near record surplus. The Republican governor said the state would have the opportunity to cut the income tax further, quote, over the coming months. Sanders later said that could include the fiscal legislation next April or a special session before then. She signed legislation in April cutting individual and corporate income taxes by $124 million a year. A little later, Pitt State women's basketball is headed overseas. We'll catch up with the team.
Plus, we have some scattered thunderstorms trying to work in later on tonight. Details coming up. Well, of course, another hot one outside for us today, but at least better. High temps mainly into low to mid 90s. Still hot, but of course we are heading in the right direction for at least the next few days. Nice shot, Indigo Sky Casino and Resort. We have partly cloudy skies across the region. All right, let's look at temperatures. Most of us are sitting upper 80s to lower 90s across the region. It does look like as we go through the overnight hours for us tonight, we'll drop back into the mid 70s, which is good. As of right now, it's 93. Look at this. Heat index, 101. So if you are going to be outside throughout the evening hours, make sure you drink plenty of fluids. 101 in Webb City. Grove feels like 100 in Parsons, Stockton, and Nevada. But at least we're going to cool down just a bit as we go through the next couple days. All right, we look good. Just a few cumulus clouds, but we're tracking storms out to the west. One cluster, central Kansas, will die. It's this cluster we're going to keep our eyes on, which is a long ways away, but will start to affect us late tonight and then into the morning hours for us tomorrow. You can see rain chances increasing 4 a.m., 6 a.m., 8 a.m., and then start to decrease as we go through the afternoon hours. So let's step through time. We're going to go through the evening, sliding back into the mid 70s. 3 a.m. you can start to see some showers developing out toward the west. Thunderstorms start to increase 6 a.m. Now, most of the storms are going to be northeastern Oklahoma, mainly showers on the Kansas side. The heaviest will drop right along in south of I-44. Some of these storms could be a little bit stronger, most likely not severe. As we continue through the morning, here's 9:30 in the morning. Showers and thunderstorms scattered, continued. Not a whole bunch in our northern counties. And then most of this rain is out of here by the noon hour. We start to get a little bit of sunshine late in the day, but temperatures upper 70s to lower 80s, 4 highs. So it's going to feel pretty good for us tomorrow afternoon. Tomorrow night, we finally cool down, lower 60s for overnight lows. Saturday, upper 80s to near 90, but we could get some scattered thunderstorms in here Saturday evening into Saturday night, but most of Saturday is shaping up pretty good. All right, rainfall tonight, northern counties, not much. The farther south you go, the better chances you have of picking up at least decent amounts of rain, but the heaviest by far Grand Lake down toward McDonald County and also into northwestern Arkansas. So starting the day, scattered thunderstorms. Look at that high, only 81 degrees, which is fantastic. Let's go through the weekend, back into the 90s, Sunday afternoon. Some hit and miss storms on Monday, but as we warm up, we're going to go through the 90s and eventually triple digits once again by the time we hit next Tuesday. So the heat, the humidity will return. All right, 81 for us tomorrow, 89 Saturday, 93 on Sunday. Hit and miss storms over the weekend and early next week. 98 on Monday, and then that triple digit heat moving in for a good chunk, really all of next week.
Yeah, that's too long for
Yes,
sure.
it is.
Thanks, John. Registration is now open for the 2023 Maple Leaf Parade in Carthage. The parade's been a long-standing tradition, of course, for the Carthage Chamber of Commerce. It has been since 1966. It'll take place this year from October 12th to October 21st, the festival itself, with various activities throughout the week. This year's theme, There's No Place Like Home. You can register to join the parade by going to our website, KOAMnewsnow.com. John Dale's here now. The Outlaws have a chance to clinch their division this weekend.
Yeah, that's right. It starts tonight. First place Joplin at the Road, at second place Jeff City. And Pitt State women's basketball begins practicing for its trip across the pond. Those stories and more right after the break. Pitt State women's basketball is one of the few teams in the country that has the opportunity to practice together right now. The reason being, the Gorillas are getting ready for a team trip up to Spain in a week and a half. And Pitt State returns 3 all-conference players from last year's squad, didn't have any student athletes transfer out of the program, and added the new assistant in Jacob Rourke. And head coach Amanda David says her group makes the extra time together worthwhile.
It's just an amazing opportunity, actually. We've talked a little bit about that, just that our girls, we need to get as much out of this 14 days that we get to be together as possible, just because, the people in our community have really invested in our program, and we feel like we need to honor that. And so we're really excited about the opportunity to have these days to prepare for the upcoming year with, 4 new freshmen, a new assistant. We need to get as much out of it as we can.
In local baseball, the Kansas American Legion AAA State Tournament is taking place this weekend, and the Post 64 Pittsburgh Patriots play Post 239 from Overbrook today. Patriots playing at Pittsburgh High School, and we start things out in the top of the first inning. Pittsburgh Batting, Connor Vanbeclair keeps this ball fair down the line. That'll bring in a run. Noah Duncan comes home to score RBI double. Gives the Patriots an early 1-0 lead. So to the bottom of the third we go. That's when Overbrook goes on a big-time scoring run. Their pitcher, Brody Gleason, helps his own cause with an RBI double. That gave him a 5-1 lead. Very next batter, Bryce Torkelson, single into left field for an RBI. Overbrook takes a 6-1 lead at that point. Patriots aren't going down without a fight, though. Top of the fourth inning, 6-2 game and a wild pitch. Let's Ethan Rhodes come in and score. Pittsburgh clawing its way back into it. Lead down to 6-3. Top of the fifth, 7-3 Overbrook. But Connor Vanbeclair again, this time with a solo homer. Pittsburgh getting back into it, down 7-4 at that point. The rally wasn't enough, though. Overbrook Bombers go on to beat the Pittsburgh Patriots 9-4. Meanwhile, the Outlaws continue their chase for a second consecutive Mink League South Division title. Big-time series beginning tonight. Joplin has a 3-game set in Jefferson City. Just a game and a half separate these two in the standings. If the Outlaws win 2 of 3, they'll be division champs. It's that simple. And they'll earn a bye in the playoffs next week. First pitch is at 7. We'll have highlights from that game tonight at 10. And in Major League Baseball, one of the best rivalries in sports, Cubs-Cardinals, is renewed tonight at Wrigley Field. This one has a little more juice than normal, though. Cardinals entered tonight's game with a 5-game winning streak, which brings them just 2.5 games behind the Cubs in the NL Central. And Chicago is theoretically contending for a playoff spot right now, while the Cards definitely are not. But St. Louis most certainly can play spoiler. I'll tell you what, it's always fun when the Cubs and Cardinals meet up, but when you have a little extra juice like this, it makes it even more fun.
Oh, yeah. And whether you're in the playoffs or not, you want to beat each other.
You do.
They're rivals. We'll be right back. Here's a look at what's coming up on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. Some Pittsburgh citizens get together to discuss issues surrounding the homeless population and how this heat wave, not only here but really nationwide, could impact your wallet. Those stories and a lot more tonight on KOAM News at 9 on Fox 14. An Oklahoma boy got an unusual bite on his lure while fishing at a neighborhood pond over the weekend. He reeled in a pacu, South American fish closely related to the piranha. It's a big one, too. Wildlife officials posted these pictures on social media. Look at those weird kind of human-like teeth. They say the exotic fish was likely someone's unwanted pet that was dumped in the pond when it got too big for its tank. Pacu can reach 3.5 feet long. They can get that big. They can weigh nearly 90 pounds. So this critter had some growing to do, apparently.
Jeez.
Wow, that's kind of unpleasant.
Yes,
in your
very
local
much so.
It's still hot out there, Doug.
It is. We're going to drop back through the 80s into the 70s tonight. Some thunderstorms late tonight into tomorrow morning. Much cooler tomorrow, high of 81.
Final sports notes.
Outlaws against Jeff City. You play all year to get to this point, but very hard to win on the road. So that's a game we're going to be following all night long. We'll have highlights again tonight.
Looking forward to that. Thanks for joining us. We're going to leave you with video of an artsy rock snake outside the Miami Public Library. See you right back here at 10. Let's make it a great evening.